Good morning, everyone. We've had heavy rain on and off, thunder this morning. It's in the 60s. It's wet. All the kitties are doing good, though. That's Stripe and Marty, who were in the house, desperate to come in for the house. I had to dry them off. They were a little wet. And Tux and Morris are over here on the platform. I'll get Tux in the house for his medicine after he gets a little food in his stomach. I just heard the siren for the dynamite, so I guess they're working in the storm this morning, and we're going to hear a blast in a minute. Just great. I see my birdie needs some help over here. It is raining right now, but it's not super heavy, which is good because I'm out here, right? I am meeting Michelle today instead of tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to it a lot. Talked with Johnny about maybe going, and we decided next week. Michelle thinks she can go next week and next week. I just heard the siren again. See if it's now or in a few more minutes. Don and I were able to give Tux his antibiotic and his pain meds, his NSAID. And he doesn't like that antibiotic. He foamed at the mouth a little bit. I hope he got enough of a dose. And gave him a couple of kitty treats afterward. He's not too mad at us. Don did have to hold him pretty good, but at least he doesn't try to clamp down on my fingers. Panther was trying to clamp down on my fingers there a bit at the end. There wasn't any risk I was going to get punctured today. He's a good boy, Tux. He's a good boy. And he's walking better this morning. He's walking better. We actually had a power failure yesterday, and I forgot to come out and reset the heating pads. Good thing it was in the 60s overnight because of the cloud cover. Didn't really matter, but I've reset the backyard, and I'm resetting the front porch now. Actually, they didn't all go off. This one is still on, but I guarantee you not all of them are on. This one is back off. My poinsettia windsock came yesterday. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, there's a chicken. Here's a chicken. Good girl. You boys hold down the fort for me. My chariot awaits. Thank you, Donnie.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not raining right this minute.
No,
that's good.
That is good. I'm glad you're not going to get too wet.
Yep. Well, I would really like to know how much more rain is headed in our direction, but Ruby doesn't have the radar on the nav screen. That one's just a little painful. Just a little painful. But I saw Brad, the meteorologist out of Charlotte this morning. I cannot pronounce his last name, but it starts with a P. Demonstrating it in his car this morning. That was super cool. I was even more happy with him than I have been happy with him. So that was good. I got my little reindeer everywhere. I love it. I have to say, though, that being in a crowd of people and the elves being all around is even slightly more exciting than the reindeer. But the reindeer are exciting. Michelle and I were looking on eBay last night to see what other ceramic pieces from the 70s or 80s go with the two Santas I now have. And there is a couple of versions of a snowman and a couple of versions of a reindeer, usually done as Rudolph. And we kind of made a shopping pact to keep an eye out for these, but only at a good price. I wouldn't pay the eBay going rate. That Santa I bought yesterday on eBay, it's about $45 or $50, free shipping, or yeah, it goes from 35 to 25 there. And Ruby slowed. She's doing 26 now. Woohoo! I'm liking that, being a little more responsive to the speed limit sign. I mean, I don't want her to slam on the brake because, oh God, there's a speed limit sign, but I don't want her to be like all the way in downtown before she slowed down the extra 10 mile an hour either. Something is somewhere in between. Anyway, as I was saying, it's $45 or $50 with free shipping, or some people make it sound really good at $25 and then they charge you $15 or $20 to ship it. So, you know, on eBay, you always gotta take that into consideration. But, you know, if I saw one of them and it was less than $10 like the Santa, like the Santa, I probably would pick it up. So now we know what they look like, what to look for. In the sea of newer ceramic Santas, we would be able to spot the old school Santa. Something to be said for, in my heart, she's doing a little stutter there, just a little extra slowing than necessary at the intersection, if you ask me. There's something to be said, I think, for saving the thing that people like my Aunt Teresa painted from the thrift store than going out to Kohl's or even going to the thrift store and buying one that's on sale this year or last year. So just in my heart, it warms my heart a little bit more at the holiday season to think that if Aunt Teresa's thing got donated, some other loving person gave it a home, is what I'm trying to say. I guess we'll see if Ruby is willing to consider turning into the Guardian Angel parking lot or not. Typically, I haven't been letting her handle that because the side that I go in on, the drop-off is so steep and it's so narrow there and people don't stay on their own side. There's just lots of complications with that. But if there's nobody trying to come out, I'm willing to let her try to go in. That is not the best entranceway to a shopping center ever. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Guardian Angel is in the original Fuquay Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter's been in 3 locations in Fuquay. The current Guardian Angel location, the big store. Farther up where the TJ Maxx and Pop Shelf are now. Very nice. Very nice. Realized right away she wanted to get to the right because her destination is past the stoplight. She hasn't always done that, so that could actually be an improvement too. And then of course where it is now in the old Kroger. I would say the only problem with any of the locations has ever been is the amount of available parking for the store. So what she goes, it is a big truck behind me, a van or a diesel. I guess she's going to blow past the first entrance, which I'm totally okay with. I realize she has no clue I have a preference for there's nobody coming out. The truck got out from behind me. There is somebody coming now, though. She slowed up super nicely. I let her handle that. And she doesn't know where I want to go in here. So I'm going to call that a win. I saw the other car there coming from my right, and I knew I wanted to make the right turn, and she didn't know I wanted this parking spot. So I took over, but I call that a win. She turned into the shopping center. She handled the other car being at the entrance to the shopping center, all of that stuff. And still, when you kick out of FSD and you have the turn signal on, she doesn't ever turn it off until I turn it off. So I sort of wish, and I realize it's a more complicated edge case, but when you kick out of FSD and after you make the car knows it made the turn in the direction of the turn signal on, the driver made that, I guess I would kind of like to see the turn signal go off. Not a big deal, but I probably kind of like to see it go off. Here she is. What'd you get already?
Gonna get a llama.
A llama.
Some
It's a tree, a candy cane, and a snowman. They're little window LED thingies with suction cups. So I still like this Christmas tree, I must say. The little wooden thing.
How are you? How are you?
Little Angel now has Apple Pay. Huh. Have to check that out. Santa fell into the bucket. It's tempting considering I have all those elf legs out back, but I'm going to be a good girl and keep on walking. A selection of Christmas wreaths has not diminished, and there's a good little bit of Christmas art too, plus this big butterfly.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. So cute. They have birds resting on them, and they're building a gingerbread house, and the birds are helping. It's just too cute. They done, and all the kitties need to have a very merry Catmas. Well, if somebody really wanted the butterfly corral set, they have a large set here, although it's missing the large serving bowl and the serving platter, and yeah, that's $3 a piece for 52 pieces, basically. So good, but not a steal. Come in on the day it's 50% off, because they will do that from time to time. This is a good deal today on the Iris Corel, which I don't need, but I am still looking for some of the regular drinking glasses, not the coffee cups, but the drinking glasses. Moly, is it pouring out there? Wow. I have my January outdoor mat for Tux. I mean, I got some great choices down here today. Look. Really nice stuff. I guess people use it one year and swap it for something else. Heart's a little thin today, although Michelle is getting this giant cupcake hassock. I guess that's what it is. A footrest. This footrest thing for Connor. This is some nice pieces here. A lighthouse, a water wheel, a mill, a grist mill, and a train station, and they're $7 each in their department 56. I think that's a good deal. I do like the new way they're showing us that they're Century stuff. I don't think that's part of the holiday update, although Ruby does have the go to event stuff. I bet it's just all from the rain. I mean, it poured so bad there for a while. Let's see. I'm just checking out one of them. Well, you know, it said she had a go to event button, but I'm not seeing it. But yeah, it's definitely raining. I think the rain just set it off. You can see that's a little better. Let's just say that it rained so heavy we could hear it on the Guardian Angel roof over the loud Christmas music. That's how heavy it was. We had a power flash here. Michelle actually lost power at her house at the same time. Dawn says we're good at our house. I tell you what, in my opinion, and I know other people are going to disagree, well, let's just say from a driver's perspective, there just is no better car than the Model X for getting into. Wow, almost looks like Thriftronics doesn't have... Oh, they've lost power here. Everything has lost power. Wow, the whole shopping center's out. That happened in the last 5 minutes. Oh, wow. Okay, I was going to say there's no better car than the Model X as a driver for getting into, and I'm going to say out of also, in the rain. And it's because when I walk up to Ruby, she immediately opens the door. I slide in. It's one solid fluid movement. And as I'm getting into the car, as soon as my last leg is tucked in, I'm hitting the brake and the door is shutting. I don't have to set my stuff down. I don't have to reach out and re-grab the door. I just can shut it with the brake. That's just why I suppose Tesla could put those two features on other cars. But at this time, it's why I'm not going to be driving any car other than a Model X. And here comes a police officer pulling somebody over, a speeder, I'm going to guess. Or down in the other direction, okay. Was a female police officer out there in the rain directing traffic back there because the stoplight at Jersey Mike's was out. Now I see they've got power over here, but they did not have power Jersey Mike's back the other way. This probably bodes well for us still having power at our house. Wonder what happened, because, you know, heavy rain wouldn't normally just cause a power outage. Maybe a accident, somebody hit a pole or something. I could see that. People hydroplaning in that terrible rain we had here a bit ago. Don and I were thinking about walking, and I guess that's 1:10 p.m. We're still thinking about walking, but it's not looking super likely. Yeah, unfortunately. I guess we're just going to have to buckle down and get back in the groove tomorrow, because today is just not looking good. But, you know, if it happens to come through and clear out by, say, 3, 4 o'clock, we have that option. Don is done with his work for the rest of the year as far as he knows. There's a small amount of work presently lined up for January, like probably 10 hours or less. So, just saying, he has flexibility today for shopping. I mean, for walking. I have shopping on the brain, but for walking. Michelle says the power's out at the high school. The high school's 3 miles from Michelle's house at least, so this is not a small outage. She said the high school has, you know, being brand new, it has generators. The generators kicked on. So that's good. I think they're putting generators in a lot of these new schools now, partly because they're storm shelters, you know, and when they need to open up shelters, they open up the schools. So if the schools have generators, seems smart to me. Make that large building as usable as possible. Yeah, Don and I did briefly talk last night. The lift station, the generator's on. Don says now we lost power for 5 minutes, but it's back. But I don't know, the lift station generator was still on, whether it was out of necessity or why, I don't know. Anyway, Don and I had talked last night about him dropping me off up at Guardian Angel and then coming back for me. If we'd have remembered, we probably would have done that. It's dropped the temperature a bit now, and my feet got pretty wet walking through the parking lot to take the cart out and then take the cart back. Not a big deal. Just get a pair of dry socks at the house. I'm driving, by the way. I was so agitated about the power outages and the storm, I just never even thought about putting it on FSD on the way home. But what I was going to say is, you can tell we had a little bit of wind. There's leaf clumps and small branches basically everywhere. In a few days when it dries out and I have time, because I don't have anything, I don't think, going on tomorrow or Friday, I'll get out here and blow. Well, I should have known that you would. I just set it there for a minute so I could show folks the new blanket, and apparently it's very good. It's cat approved. Stripe was asleep here the whole time I was gone, but he did ask to go outside, which it's not raining hard again right now, but it is still raining. So I got the blanket. It was probably for the cats anyway, or for whoever wanted it. I got these 3 Corel dessert plates. I have this pattern up there, $2 each. Were they all $2? They were, but I would say they weren't used. Michelle insisted that I needed this, and she bought it for me. It is a piece of pressed glass. It's very pretty. I got this box of ornaments for $5, and I love birds in the tree, which I realize I don't exactly have the tree thing totally happening this year, but I probably can snap them on to the garland part of the village tree. But I bought it for this cat ornament because it's just that cute. I just like it. So I'm going to go find room on the tree for that anyway. And there's some nice birdies in here too. There wasn't anything else. Oh, that Let It Snow floor mat. Dawn carried it upstairs, and the little birdie wreath hanging thing for the spring for on the side of the cat hotel. Dawn just automatically took them upstairs for me. So it was a small day for me and Michelle. And the store was really quiet because the rain was keeping people from coming out. And they were playing some nice Christmas music today, so we were all singing Christmas stuff. I have Stevie Wonder in my head, A Very Merry Christmas. I think it was Stevie anyway. But we had fun. We had fun.
Okay.
I just fixed Johnny a pulled pork wrap for lunch. This will be ready in about 5 hours. Harris Teeter had such a good price on it, still on sale, even this week, well, when I was in there on the way home from picking up Johnny, that I couldn't resist picking it up and cooking it tonight, even though we'll be turning around and having another one for Christmas. So, looking forward to that. My star finally came, and Tall Boy is fixing my star for me. We had a momentary panic yesterday that we thought maybe the power outlets on the tree were not working properly.
I thought I didn't wire it correctly, and you know, I did. I wired it just fine.
Well, I don't know how you can mess up a wire that's already wired, but okay.
I spliced two cords.
Oh, well, I missed that. Of course you did.
Well,
Of course. How stupid. How could I have missed that?
Custom. Houston, we may have a problem.
It won't sit straight. You're going to have to figure out a way to keep it up, put it on. I'm going to have to 3D print a base.
That's right. Probably going to have to 3D print a base.
Don's having fun with his feet over here.
Balancing on a ledge.
That's slightly farther away.
Yeah,
and don't knock the tree
they
over.
They talk about all those accidents caused by people falling off of ladders, and they don't tell you that it's mostly around putting up Christmas lights.
Okay, Scrooge.
Well, this way, I will never be accused of falling off a ladder. You see, he fell off the couch. They totally would believe that.
Oh, God.
All right.
It might be okay.
Well, all he would do is, it's pretty light. It's just paper.
Right. It's not going to hurt anybody if it bops them in the head.
It's not going to hurt anybody.
Startle. Not even the...
I would love to see some cats. Well, I have an idea, so I'll go get my idea.
You secure it.
Yeah, it's got a big metal wash up there, and I've got a pretty good magnet out in the garage, so I'll get the magnet and trap the little spring onto the metal washer, and that'll steady it up.
Sounds good to me. I have it subtly fading between the colors now. There's a remote, and it has more options than are necessary, but options that are fun to play with. Don also installed the new star in this Christmas tree. I had ordered a 6-pack off of Amazon, and he had to force out the old broken off star and then put in the new star. Much better. It's time for bag 7. I've completed bag 7 and 8 now. I put on the front door and entranceway. Built the table, built the chairs under the table. I'm not a fan that the chairs are not connected by a stud. They will never stay where they're supposed to stay. That just personally drives me nuts. But it does allow you to have a really nice rug pattern underneath there. Installed the record player, built the grandfather clock. Remember the house I did earlier in the year that had the grandfather clocks? And I guess there's a fan over here too. And I'm starting on bag 9 now. The first floor is officially done. I'm done through bag 10. The neat thing about this house is they have made it so that it opens up on both sides. This allows it to be playable. This allows somebody that wants to look in and appreciate the details to see the details, watch the train spin around, and the record player spin around, move minifigures, that kind of thing. Because, if you're going to bring it out every year at Christmas and it not be out the rest of the year, or at least open it up at Christmas time, it's kind of nice to revisit what's there. I made one change because it drove me nuts. It really drove me nuts. They had the wreath on this side and this side. On the other side of the bar, facing the pictures that you can barely see because of the bar. Honestly, it would have been so easy for the pictures to go lower. And I understand why the bar's where it is. That's going to help with the support of the second floor. But anyway, I at least felt like I had to move the wreath. So the wreath now faces into the rooms where people can see them. Also, the front door, they used a technique that I've used one time before to loosely attach this wreath to the door. The only problem is it's backwards, and I don't really like it backwards. It's kind of driving me nuts. I think I'm going to have to change that up also. Oh, wow. Wow, wow.
That's right.